Hi, I'm Linda, and this is No Frills ASMR. I have a travel brochure I thought we could flip through today. And I also have a hauls. I know some people really don't care for that at all, but I have a wee bit of a dry cough and a dry throat, and I just think it'll be safer since I do this kind of in one shot if I have something, to keep from coughing. But I'll try to be kind of quiet about it. It's that time of year. I feel like every year, right around this time, I get a dry throat. And I think I got this bag of Halls 2 years ago. And it's completely full, so it must not last very long. I feel fine. It's just dry cough. Anyway, I was actually at my sister's house over the weekend, and everybody who came into her house had the same dry cough. But when we left, it would go away. So she kind of thought, well, maybe it's something in my vents. So she had like Stanley Steamer come out today. But now I've gotten home. I have to say it's not as bad, but I still have it a little bit. So who knows? Anyway. So I got this in the mail, and I think the travel agencies or whoever sends these must know that I'm of a certain age, because all of a sudden I'm getting so much of this kind of stuff. And I love it, actually, because I love looking through them. But then I want to go everywhere. So this is from Trafalgar. I don't know how you say it. I'm not familiar. I don't know if they're even a cruise. What are they? Big travel. I set my camera up weird today because where I have it, if I hold like this, I'm seeing the camera. I have to look around or look in, but I can't really read it. All right, what do we have here? Big travel sale, 15% off. Okay, good. That'll be a deal, I'm sure. Your best tour starts here. The icons. One-of-a-kind experiences. We take care of everything. I don't mind actually planning vacations, so I don't necessarily need someone to take care of everything. But I think there could be a joy to just going, you do it. I just show up. Our guests' top must-sees. Mykonos? Is that how you say that? Mykonos? Mykonos, Greece. I might be saying that. Giza, Egypt. Belém Tower, Portugal. I've never heard of that. I don't know how to say any of these words. Forgive me for... Let's see. I'm going to assume you say the I instead of the E. If it's anything like German. So, Geiranger Fjord, Norway. I don't know. Lake Bled, Slovenia. Yeah, I want to go there. When we were in Croatia, after that trip, I was looking up to go back on more of a land tour, and I was thinking of going to Lake Bled for a while, and then coming down to Croatia. Kylemore Abbey, Ireland. Sounds awesome. Amsterdam Canals, Holland. Never been. Eiffel Tower, France. I've never been to Paris. I want to go to Paris. Venice, Italy. Never been. I've never been to any of these except... No, I haven't been to any of them. Greece, Egypt, Portugal, Ireland, Slovenia, Norway, Holland, France, Italy. No, I've been to Italy, but not that part of Italy. Find your perfect trip. Ooh, sitting in that hot spring, that looks so nice. New England, I have been there. I've been there a lot. Tarangire, I don't know if that's how you say it. Cusco, Peru. Kyoto, Japan. South Island, New Zealand. I want to go to all these places. Sounds awesome. Britain and Ireland. And then they have real Britain. Like none of that fake Britain BS. Real Britain, 9 days for $2,664 per person. I wonder what their trips cover. I assume that's where you stay. All your transportation. I wonder how much your food and stuff. What does that say? Medieval castles and the inspiring beauty of the Lake District are highlights of this exciting journey. Learn about Gretna Green and Tudor history before you ascend to lofty Castle Rock for spellbinding views of Edinburgh. I want to do that. That sounds awesome. They don't say that. Oh, $2,664 per person for nine days. See, here's the thing. If you were by yourself, like if I were just traveling by myself and I wanted to go with a group or something, that probably is a pretty good deal. But because a lot of times I travel with my husband and then my sister and her husband, so the four of us together, this isn't because we can share like, you know, a cottage somewhere or like Airbnbs or even if we're really tight for cash, a hotel room with 2 beds, you know, like 2 queen beds. But we can share transportation, like if we rent a car or something. So it ends up being cheaper, usually for us, to not do anything like this. But I don't know. If all my people died off and it was just me, I think I would do this stuff, you know? Just have people to travel with. This one is the, it says, imagine, I really did set this camera up in a stupid, where do I put it to read it? Where you can see it. Imagine life as a Benedictine monk at Buckfast Abbey. Feel the hope of brave pilgrims in Plymouth. Sorry, it got quiet because I'm like, wait, pilgrims. So the pilgrims left from Plymouth, England, and that's why they called it Plymouth Rock in the U.S. Is that right? Am I remember? I was like trying to remember. I'm like, wait, Plymouth Rock. Anyway, be inspired by the beauty of Lake Windermere. Well, this is my brain's Stonehenge. I have been there. That I have done. In fact, when I went with our cousins who are from the Cotswolds in England, I was like, oh, well, we'll plan to go up to Stonehenge. And they had never been. It was only like, I don't know, 2 hours tops from their house. It's so different, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like in Europe, it's different than in the U.S. where the U.S. is so huge and so many roads, and it's like, you know, like I drive down to my parents, it's a 10-hour drive. It's 538 miles, I think. But there, to drive a couple hours is like, what are you, crazy? Maybe I'm wrong about that. Tell me if I am, but that's how it feels to me. All right, English adventure, Best of Ireland, Irish experience. Wow, 11 days from 3,481. And if they say 11 days, does that mean actually like 10 nights? You know what I'm saying? Or even 9 nights, because you could have a day, a night. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. But this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 nights. Yes, so 10 days. I know I have to use my fingers. Britain and Ireland highlights. 10 days, 5 countries. Oh, here we go. 12 meals. Huh. So you're not getting all your meals. I wonder if those are even like hotel breakfast, or are they actual meals? I don't know. All right, what are we doing? So it looks like we start in Waterford Island. And this is all day one. So you start there, and I mean, how do you get there to start? Is there an airport right there? I don't know. And then you take a ferry over across Wales to Cardiff. And then you go to Bath, Stonehenge, and then over to London. No, these say one. Why did these all say one? I thought that was the number of nights, or number. Oh, that's how many nights you stay there, I bet. Okay, so no, you start actually in London, I bet. Yeah. And then you go up to, what does that say? Oh, Stratford upon Avon. That's where, like, Shakespeare did stuff, right? I have been there, I think. And then you go to York. And then you spend a night here in between York and the Lake District. And then you go to Gretna Green. And then you spend 2 nights up near Glasgow. And from there you take like day trips to Edinburgh. And maybe just one day just in Glasgow. And then you head down to here and you take a ferry across. And then you're in Northern Ireland, and there you go to, gosh, I need my glasses. Hold on. It's too far for me to see. Oh, Belfast. Okay. And then you go through Belfast, but you don't spend the night there. It doesn't look like you drive to Dublin. And then you spend 2 nights in Dublin. And then you go to Kildare and Kilkenny, which I think is where my sister's husband's family's from, so he wants to go there. And then Waterford. Is that Waterford? Like where Waterford Crystal is, me. And then you go across. All right. That sounds awesome. I don't know about the 3,100 number. What do you guys think? Irish highlights: 7 days, 1 country, 9 meals, 2,100. Well, I mean, hold on. We gotta look back. Hold on. Make sure we're not driving ourselves. They're driving us, right? Join our travel director. That evening, enjoy dinner in a Victorian spa town of Harrogate. Hotel Crown Plaza. And then day 3, through the scenic Lake District to Glasgow. Journey through Yorkshire Dales National Park to the beautiful Lake District. Pass Windermere as you continue through the countryside made famous by poet William Wordsworth. Cross into Scotland and stop at the runaway wedding capital, Gretna Green. And does that mean they're runaway brides, or it's like just where everybody wants to get married? So they don't really say. I assume they're driving you everywhere. Included highlights and must see: explore the local specialist Edinburgh, Belfast, Dublin. Discover on city orientations. Visit must-see landmarks such as Shakespeare's birthplace in Stratford upon Avon, Gretna Green, Edinburgh Castle, Guinness Storehouse in Dublin, the Irish National Stud, and Japanese Garden near Kildare. They like stud like a horse, I guess. And Waterford Crystal Showroom. Okay. The Roman Baths in Bath and the ancient stone circle at Stonehenge. They don't tell you how you travel, but I assume, I'm sure on page 1 it did tell me. I just skipped it. All right, let's skip past Ireland. Italy and Sicily. Yes, please. Let's go. 8 days in northern Italy. They're having the Winter Olympics in Italy in just like next month, right? Wonders of Italy. Look how beautiful that looks. What? where is this? That looks so pretty. It says, cruise, oh boy, Cinque Terra's rugged coastline. Get lost in San Gama, hold on, I'll get it, hold on. Gamanjanos quaint center and discover the art of glass blowing in Venice. I can do glass blowing where I am. The wonder of Italy comes alive over a glass of Tuscan Chianti. Yes, please. No, I would want to see. They're like the expert glass blowers. I've been there, done that. Okay, this looks awesome. Ooh, look, 13 days, 2 countries, 18 meals for just 4,931 per person. That's pretty high, but it is 13 days, but that's still, I don't have that kind of money to do, but I would love to. All right, let's see. What are the 2 countries? I don't really know. It just looks like Italy to me. It must be over here. Welcome to Rome. You go Rome and the Vatican City. I have been there. The ruins of Pompeii and Sorrento. I have been there. The Isle of Capri. I've never been there. Onward to I know this word. Hold on. I don't know. I should know that. Venture to Verona and Venice. Never been there. St. Mark's and more in Venice. Okay, that's awesome. Stroll around Milan and onto Lake Maggiore. I don't know. That would be awesome, but that's where the Olympics will be. So on to Como and scenic Lake Maggiore. My son went, I'm pretty sure it was Lake Como, and he stayed at like I don't know if it was a youth hostel or just a room for rent kind of thing, for a while. He loved it so much. I think that's where he was. And he's like, Mom, you have to go there and just stay for a while. And he talks about the food and everything. I'm like, meh, I want to do that. Admire Pisa and on to Florence. Experience art and architecture in Florence. Treasures of I'm in trouble with these Italian words. Gimaginio, and return to Rome. Farewell to Rome. That sounds awesome. Great Italian cities. France, Spain, Portugal, and Morocco. Okay. I had planned a whole trip to Portugal that, I don't know, my sister her daughter was having a baby, so she didn't feel like she could travel, so she kind of went, but it's still in my back pocket, and I kind of keep waiting for the right moment to go, okay, let's go, because I think my sons might all want to go too. That'd be fun. Like, on their own. I'm not paying for everybody, if any of you are listening. All right, Paris Explorer. Treasures of France, including Normandy. Nice. I mean, that seems priced. 8 days from just 2,573. Again, if you're traveling alone, I think that price might be okay. But if you have a group, you're probably better off just, kind of moving together. But I don't know. Travel from Paris to the D-Day landing beaches of Normandy and on to the Loire Valley. Imagine life as a French noble as you head to a 17th century chateau and learn about the battles through the ages. Oh, it's kind of a war. Okay, I don't know. My dad would have liked that. Villages of France. Highlights of Spain and Portugal. What is a Spanish wonder? So cool. Best of Portugal. Let's see, where are they going to go? Welcome to Lisbon. Discover Lisbon. Journey to the Algarve region. Cliff beaches and more in Algarve. Okay, so they're spending 2 days there. I was kind of wondering that when I was planning it. Onward to elegant Evora. Venture past mountains to Vesu. Through the Douro Valley to Porto. Yeah. Explore the vibrant Porto. On to Cumbria and pilgrimage to Fatima. Experience village life. Returning to Lisbon. Oh, they go all the way back to Lisbon. Interesting. So they start in Lisbon. They go down and then up, so they go through the interior and then come back. Interesting. I kind of looked at flying into Porto, spending maybe a couple or 3 nights here, because I kind of like to stay in a town for a while and really like sink into it, and then taking some day trips, and then coming down. I don't remember, somewhere, maybe go to Nazarene, where the big waves are, and then Lisbon, and then I kind of thought maybe there's some beaches down here, but this is much bigger. Maybe I have to look at this. Maybe that's better. This trip I've planned that I don't know if I'll ever do. 12 days, 3 countries, 16 meals, just $3,600 per person. And you go to Spain and Morocco and Portugal. Ah, that's pretty cool. Okay. More of Europe. They have London and Paris, European whirl. Best of Switzerland. Ooh, that'd be cool. Greek island hopper. That sounds fun. Best of Holland, Belgium, and Luxembourg. Yeah. Best of Germany. Oh my god. I want to do them all. Everything. European traveler. 10 days. 5 countries. Whoa. Okay, it goes England. Then it goes into France. To Switzerland. To Italy. This is basically the trip I told you where my son stayed in LA for a while. That's kind of what they did. It was like him and his girlfriend, right as soon as they graduated college, they like had saved up from working, for the last few years, and they took a trip. And I think they did start in London, and they went to, I think they practically did this, because I know they were in Switzerland. They went to Paris. This is basically what they did. And I think he said that, I think they were gone 3 weeks. And I think he figured he spent about $3,000 on everything. So, and I assume she did too. And they stayed at like youth hostels. They stayed at Airbnbs or whatever you call them there. I don't know how many youth hostels they actually stayed in, because they were a couple, but maybe. And they rented cars occasionally, but mostly took trains, I think, or like short flights. Yeah. I think young people should do that kind of traveling. It's good for your brain. Capitals of Scandinavia. Yeah, 10 days, 4 countries, 12 meals, just 3,551. I don't know. I'm not sure. That sounds high, but these countries might be really expensive. I don't know if you're from Norway, Sweden, or Finland, Denmark. I think they might be pretty expensive. You guys, sorry if I feel like my microphone's making a weird noise. It's bugging me right now. Sorry if you hear that. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Yeah. That'd be awesome. What else? Best of Greece. Ugh, I want to do all of these. How do I do them all? Imperial Europe. What is that? Sorry, I just faltered. 10 days, 5 countries, 13 meals, just $3,019. Okay. Where do we start? We start Welcome to Munich, Journey to Medieval Regensburg and Prague. awesome. Okay. Discover colorful Prague for another day. Onwards to Bratislava and Budapest. Explore Riverside Budapest. Venture to Vienna. See the sights of Vienna. Off to a picturesque day in Salzburg. Return to Munich, and then farewell Munich. You know what I like about this? I think there are a lot of direct flights from the US to Munich. I think you can get direct flights to London, Frankfurt, Munich. Maybe Paris from some places. Where else, guys? So it is kind of like, sometimes I look at those areas and go, where could I go just from there? And is it easy to drive? Or do I have to, could I rent a car? Or am I going to crash? Some countries are hard to drive in. I thought it was hard driving in England because they have the steering wheel on the wrong side of the car and on the wrong side of the road. You're on the wrong. I'm like, eh. And then we were out in the country, so the roads were like, they have these hedgerows. I don't know. They're like bushes that are cut straight, and they were like 50 feet high. And so a narrow road would feel even more narrow because you feel like your rear view mirror is going to hit your side view is going to hit these bushes. And then cars come at you and you have to like somehow try to get out of the way so they can, it was stressful. And there would be bicyclists on the road. I'm like, now what? Am I supposed to pass these guys? Because they'd just be on the middle of the road. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I wasn't really confident. I knew when you're on the other side of the car, it's hard to get a sense right off the bat. This was the first day I drove. For how far over you are. I don't even know which way to go this way. And so I was so scared to pass these bicyclists because I'm like, I might clip them. I don't know. So I end up just driving behind him. And the cousin that we were with, she's like, you can pass them. I'm like, ah. So after that, I'm like, I better not drive. I let everybody else drive. But I'm sure if I did it a couple of times, because I'm actually a good driver, I got my head about it, I think. I got it in my head. Best of the Rhine and Amsterdam. 10 days, 4 countries, 23 meals, 12 included experiences. Where do we go here? So, it looks like, well, I don't know where you start, but you go Amsterdam. What does that say? I can't read it. Is it Arnhem? I don't know that. 7-night cruise right in the middle, or is this all part of the cruise? I'm not sure. Cologne, Koblenz, Brabach, Rudensheim or Rudesheim, I can't quite see what that letter is. Mannheim. They need to make these maps bigger. They could. They have enough space. Make it bigger. Speyer or Heidelberg, it looks like. Strasbourg. Breisach, I think is what it says. Ooh, there's the Black Forest. Boerhof. Basel. Switzerland. Well, wait a minute. Is this 7-day cruise? Hold on. We better look. All right. Welcome to Amsterdam. Stroll the canals of Amsterdam. Yes, please. I've always wanted to do that. Embark on your Rhine River cruise. Okay. So, okay. That's cool. Arrive in Cologne. So that's part of the cruise. Okay. So we're on a river. Sorry, I should know this, but I don't. Cruise the middle Rhine. So you go to Koblenz, I think, on that part. Discover Rudensheim. Rudensheim. How's that? Pretty good, I think. Pretty good. Okay. There's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Nice. Experience medieval spire. It's kind of nice they have local specialists who take you on walking tours. That's good. onward to Strasbourg. Step ashore in Alsace, where French and German influences mix. With a local specialist by your side, explore Strasbourg's old town in the afternoon. You know, I really do like the local. My sister and I went to Dubrovnik, Croatia, and I think we were there like 2.5 days maybe before. Well, let's just say we were there 2.5 days. And we wandered Dubrovnik and just had a great time. We had such a great time just chilling and tasting foods and walking around talking to people and looking at all the sights and whatever. And then we were taking a little, I don't even know, it's a ship, I guess, but a very small ship, holds like 30 passengers, but not a yacht, so don't get big ideas here, but where you go down to the islands around Croatia. But part of the deal with that boat, ship, whatever, was they, in certain cities, gave you a guided tour. And so as soon as we got on the boat, they're like, do you want to go on a guided tour of Dubrovnik? And we were thinking, like, we've been there for 3 days. But everybody else was doing it. And so we were like, yeah, okay, we'll go. So we take a bus back over there. But I tell you what, having that tour, there are things we'd walked by 100 times that we never noticed or knew what they were, so they like showed us all kinds of things that were super interesting. So yeah, I really recommend those kind of tours because you don't know what you don't know, That's deep. You don't know what you don't know, And then past the Black Forest to Breisach. Breisach, I don't know. And then farewell. Yeah, that's awesome. Best of the Danube. Oh, wow. I bet that's so beautiful. Is this just a cruise? What is this? It must be. Let's see. Let me get my magnifier. So you start in the Czech Republic. Passau. Oh, I've heard that's beautiful. Linz. I've heard that's beautiful. Oh, I want to do this. How much do we have to pay to do this? No price. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Yeah, 7-night cruise. Budapest, Bratislava, Vienna. I can't read what that one says. Let's see. It's this. No. Where is it? I don't know. I can't read it. It's too small. Yeah, this would be awesome. I feel like there's a travel agency called Gate One Travel that has these on sale pretty cheap sometimes. I'm gonna have to look into that. Uh-oh.